Hello, very good morning to you and welcome to the monthly mega deal. Now, it's going to run until the 18th of February. Didn't get a chance to tell you that this morning, but myself and Mr. Lockwood are not sure it's even going to last that long because we are approaching 80%. Yeah, I think we left it at about 70, didn't we, earlier, John?
Yes, we did. And no, because what I'm thinking is...
I just went, didn't we, John?
to be fair, mine at home is 2 years old now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means that for normal, I don't mean normal, that sounds terrible, but I use it every day, 12 hours a day. So I was thinking maybe it's time to get another one. Yeah. So I was going to run up to the call centre and get one, so... But
how many have you got, John?
4.
4, because you use them for your crafting workshops, don't you, as well?
I do, yeah. I bought the machine 2 years ago, which is why I'm here today. Yeah. Because the machine it's not Crafts 2, it's not John next door. No. Chanda actually asked me because they know that I've been using this machine on air for 18 months. And
we've seen you using it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons they actually brought them in. Right. Was because a lot of people had asked, what's John using? Exactly. So I was so impressed. I bought my first one 2 years ago at home. I was so impressed with it after 3 months. I bought myself a second one to be my demo machine. Gosh. I then, because when I do workshops, I believe that people should use what I use at home and that you shouldn't sort of say, well, I use this, but you can use a bit of sponge or something. I like people to sort of have, they can get the same results if they use the same thing. Yeah. So I bought 2 more for workshops. So yes, I do have 4. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I paid a lot more than that. Indeed. I should reiterate
before we get into some fabulous demonstrations that we believe that this is the lowest price. You'll be able to get it here in the UK. We're a firm, we're convinced of that given what we've seen. And you have got £10 off as well, £139.99, and we can split that into 3 flexi-buy payments of £46.66 to spread the cost over January, February and March. Now, John is going to talk about all the virtues of this brilliant machine. You're getting the machine, you're getting your 3 plates, you're getting your metal adapter plate and your embossing mat, you're getting 2 embossing folders and 30 dies as well. So it's a great bundle, 880282. And basically, I've yet to find, listening to John, and Hayley's got one of these. She rang you, didn't she?
She did. Hayley rang me and said, I've seen this on. Should I get one? Is this the machine you've been using? And I just say I kept the message on my phone. But I went straight back and said, yes, get it. Don't be crazy. This is, to me, it's the best machine that I've used. Yeah. It's the best electric day 4 die cutting machine that I've used. But I wouldn't invest my money, as I said. So this isn't, this isn't a Crafts 2 product, so I wasn't able to get it on my account or anything. No. I haven't got a free one. No. I paid more than you're paying for them, and for me, as a Yorkshireman, as you know, but to not only put out my own money, but to actually put out my money 4 times, it's got to be good and it's got to last. And the thing is, I always say, look at my machine, and then look at the machine that is the beautiful one that's the shot of the pack there. That's how it comes to you. Yeah. This is what it's like when it's been carried around in my case, upside down. It's driven 4 hours every time I'm here. It's been to the NEC, it's been literally Land's End to John O'Groats, this machine with me. And it is still producing to the point where I said, I don't want to use a new machine for today's show. Yeah. I want to use my machine to show the quality and how it's stood up to it. Because I always say, if I can't break it, then it's a good machine. It's a faithful companion, and John is going to show us, the amount. Well, we've yet to find the die that you can't use through it, or the embossing folder. John's going to talk about all of those. If you've got any questions and you missed the 7 o'clock show, we'll try to remember everything that John went through in terms of all the different aspects. But please email us into studio@hochanda.com if you have got a question or if we forget to cover it. 80% practically almost 80% has already gone. John, take it away. Show me what it can work with. OK, so I'm going to go around the machine because that's what Hochanda actually asked me to come in and do this show. Absolutely. And they asked me because I'm not an expert, because I don't believe anyone's an expert in anything, but I've got the experience with it. So the first thing that impressed me is the best thing to go through it. Right. So the machine itself, if I can tip that here slightly and show you. Let's move that one out of the way. Right. So the very first thing is you've got a wide mouth, and that means it's got a lot of depth, but it also means that it's been designed to be slightly wider than a standard machine. A lot of the A4 manual machines you have an A4 aperture. This doesn't. It gives you a 1/4 of an inch extra on either side. So first of all, that means if your plates go skew width, which mine do quite frequently, it won't reject. They will just go through because there's space for them to go at that angle.
Okay.
Yeah. It means it will take big dies that are slightly bigger than A4, which they were done.
Yeah.
But the main issue is that width there.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the fact is, though, because of that and the plate combinations, so far this has taken every die that I've ever bought.
Yeah.
And that includes, I'm going to go through them. So you've got the thin dies that you get in the set.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got thin dies of mine. Yeah, so standard dies. So standard thin dies from any company that we've got. Yeah. You've got then your Biggs dies.
Your Biggs dies,
So your Sizzix, Biggs dies, or I think a couple of other companies do them as well. Yeah. But it will also take things like the slightly elongated fabric dies. So if you've got any of those fabric dies, the quilting dies that are cut like this, they will go through. If you look, that's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not limited like I would be on a smaller A5 machine of having to have that size. But it will also take things like this.
Look at that.
Now, this is really hard to show, so I will show you the packaging for this, which is
Tim
unusual
Holtz?
of me to keep packaging. But this is a massive Tim Holtz alphabet.
Yeah. Sizzix,
But that, to put that through one of your A5 machines, you have to buy the additional extra long plate and base and platform. There's another £40 spend.
Yeah.
I know because I looked at it. That's why this one hadn't been used until I got this. That's why I've still got the packaging. So that will fit on. But it will also take dies like this, which a lot of people don't remember. And this is the old thin Biggs dies. Yeah?
Yeah.
So these were actually based on the original dies.
Gosh.
So they've got the sharp edge with the foam, but it's actually on a plate. So again, that's something that I couldn't get through before.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't go through. It will also take the original wooden dies.
Yeah.
Which were like a wooden base with like metal twisted on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so few people have seen them.
Yeah. But some people might have them in their store.
They're still available on that bay thing.
Okay.
You know, you see them. But they'll also take the red original dies, which Ellison did. They'll take the green ones. So as far as I'm aware, and I don't know everything, but
we've
it
yet
will
to find
take,
what it doesn't take.
I've yet to find anything that it won't take.
Yeah.
It will take all of your embossing folders, whether they are standard, whether they are 3D, whether they are emboss and cut. It will take all of those. It will take your heartfelt flower moulds.
We got a lot of questions about this, actually, didn't we?
So we've got one of those, so I'll show you. We'll run one of those through. I don't know how, so we'll try it, and that's the best way I would say with the machine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it will also take your foiling machine.
Gosh.
So this is the original foiling machine, which was from Couture Creations as well.
Yes.
Because I've actually used and worked, I mean, I worked with Couture Creations 6 years ago, so I have quality, you know, I have faith in the brand.
Yes, you know that.
Because I have worked with their products now for over sort of 6, 7 years at times. So it will take this, which is, if you can see here, we put a plate on and that foiling machine will go through, which means that any of the foiling machines will go through, regardless of what company you've bought it from. And
it'll take plates that we've got at home. That was another question we had, John.
And it will take plates that we've got at home. So I'm going to go through, I'll go through the plate combination. I'm going to move these out of the way.
So if you have a question about any of the dies, we're pretty confident that we've yet to name one that it doesn't. But please email in if there's any that we've forgotten.
We did have one question. I think it was from a lady called Anne.
Yeah.
She said, is there a handle?
Oh, yes,
No, there isn't a handle.
So to pick up
what you've got is here, you can see there's a ridge on each side. That's how you pick it up,
I'm just going to feel the weight there, actually.
It's a lot more stable that way than putting a handle in the centre, they found. So it's got that ridge there, so it's really easy to pick up from there.
Yes, it is, actually,
And to be honest, as you can see from the state of mine, I treat it terribly.
It's very
I really, really do. It literally
machine.
gets... I pick it up, I'm going to show you. I pick it up like that.
Oh, John
and it goes in my case like that. I'm not suggesting you do that, but to me, you know, as somebody who does this as a job, this is a tool of my trade.
Exactly.
I have to have something I can rely on.
Something robust.
Something that's
reliable,
going to work. Yeah? So that's how we do it. So it plugs in, we just switch on. Really simple. Now, your plate combinations. One of the questions we had this morning was, how are the plates for lasting?
Yes, and do I need to buy extra plates?
Yeah, and everyone's experience is different, but this is the plates that were with the demo machine, which is actually in the back. Yeah. Because I'm not using it,
no,
I'm using mine.
No, you wanted to show your own that you've had for over 2 years. Yeah.
Turn it off. So, these are the plates that are with that. So these are the ones that have been used for about a week by different demonstrators in here and by Zoe. Yeah. So there's the C plate, there's your metal adapter, there's your embossing plate, there's your B plate, and there's your A base plate. Yeah. But these are my plates that have travelled with this machine. So I will say at least a year, but I'm sure it's 18 months. Yeah. I think it'll be 2 years in March that I've been using this on air. Wow. But if you got on Rewind, if you watched any of my shows, you'll have seen that sat next to me. Yeah. I mean, apparently in the gallery, they've got a folder like that big of people emailing in on shows. What machine is John using?
What's John using? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my metal plate, and I've used that once or twice to cut fabric, but mainly as a shim. Yeah. Yeah. There's my C plate. Yeah. So you can see some little cracks at the side, but nothing else. Nope,
still good to go.
There's my B plate.
Well used, you can see that. There's
my embossing mat, rarely used. And there's my A plate. And that's used to the point where the A plate has wiped off. Yes. Yeah. So everybody's experience will be different, but so everyone's experience will be different, but this is my experience. Now, with the 4 machines I've got, and trust me, in workshops, machines and equipment are tret, which is a Yorkshire word. I keep told it's not a real word. Are treated terribly.
Are tret terribly.
They're tret terribly, and they are, because we all get things wrong. And I still haven't had to replace any of the plates. OK, they haven't workshopped for a year, since last March, but I haven't had to replace any, so I'd say that on that. And what you've got in here is you've got a full A4 size.
They are A4 size, yes.
So this is a standard piece of A4 paper. This is 80 GSM photocopying paper. Yeah, but can you see there, I've still space around it. Yeah. So we call it an A4 machine, but the aperture is wider than an A4, and the plates are actually what I would call a letter size. Okay. Which is like an American size, which is more of a standard. So what you've actually got is, I think it's 8.5 inches, and A4 is 8 1/4. Ooh. So you've actually got that little bit of space, so you're not going to have A4 paper hanging over. No. Yeah, which has always been an annoyance to me. Yes. I had one manual machine, and it was A4, and it was A4 precise, and if I didn't get the A4 die and the card positioned in the right place, it missed a bit. Yeah. And you don't want it to miss a line. No. So those are your plate combinations. So what I want to go through is, most people will ask, first of all, cutting. Yeah, just die, just your regular die. One more thing I wanted to show you on the plates. The metal shim. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yes, this is really important. Please do not do this at home. The edges of the metal shim have been finished and chamfered. Yeah. So please don't try and cut yourself with it. Don't put yourself in danger. No. I've had a lot of time with this plate. Yes. But it is not sharp. There's no burrs, and they've been finished properly. And I really respect Couture Creations for doing that. Absolutely. And getting that right.
It's the detail, isn't it?
It is the detail. I know I use a Crafts 2 metal shim plate, which is brilliant, and that's the same. It's been properly chamfered. So I don't ever worry about it. So you would use this one if you've got an intricate die. Perhaps you've got an intricate die and it's got a really intricate piece there. Yeah. Yeah, and it's on a big die. You would use that if you find it won't cut through. Right. So you would use that to add into the shim. Yeah. Or if, like my machine at home, if anyone's watched me at home, I tend to use that all the time, because my machine at home is 2 years old. Yes. Which means, in effect, in real time, it's about 10 years old, because I tend to make a minimum of 5 cards a day, every day, for 365 days. Yes, that's the target I set myself, plus testing every single die that comes in. So that's what I'd use it for. Or if I'm cutting single layers of fabric with fabric dies, which we did this morning. And again, if you like your quilting, you're going to use this. And honestly, if you're going to be tuning into our lovely Hayley soon, then you will want this and this. Yes, you will. And that's all I'm allowed to say, because Hayley will go mad.
She's doing a one-day special tomorrow. I'll be with her. Well, tonight it'll be launching, won't
it? But yeah, early February might be useful
and then
for
in
that.
February, yes. So get it now, John. We've had a question just while we're talking. Well, Diane has said, "Well, Cuttlebug."
Right, your Cuttlebug plates will fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your Spellbinders Platinum plates will fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your other electronic die cutting machine.
Yes.
Will fit.
Yes.
Yeah. Your Spellbinders will fit. Your Big Shot plates will fit.
Yes.
So it's a standard platform, and what most companies do is they have, because I've been working on machines for quite a long time, as I say, we've got something I was telling Fiona about coming out soon in March.
I'm saying it's near my birthday.
Yes. I think there's going to be two of them, isn't there? One for you and one for Shia. I think you're not going to share it. But the standard platform is 5mm and a 3mm plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you will find 90% of the things on the market will do that. So you can use plates from everywhere else. My friend June Smith, who's one of the angels, actually has ordered one this morning.
Yeah.
She texted me and said, "John, where can I get an extra C plate from?"
Yeah.
And I texted her back, and genuinely, again, I can show these. I said, "Don't bother. Have you got an machine
in your
And she said, yes. I said, right, use the plate from that.
Exactly.
So
you were doing that this morning with
your money.
Yeah,
and I will be showing you that when we get to big dies. So a basic die layout. Now, you want to remember this. These are A, B and C. But you don't lay them out A, B and C because Couture Creations is an Australian company. And so it goes A, C, B.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know Andrew, who owns Couture Creations. I do actually know him. I'm sure I will get an email later telling me how dare I say that it's an Australian way of doing it. But it is in the standard of you working down in size. Yeah. Okay. So what you need to do is, if you cut down, doesn't matter whether you cut up or down. Yeah. I think the machine, the to tells you to cut up. I have always cut down. Right. To me, it's immaterial. So I'm going to take my chrysanthemum die because that's a nice detailed die.
And we've got this on the show, Dad. We'll go through some of John's dies in a moment. Can I just say, extremely limited now. Limited. I mean, as for February the 18th, I don't know why I bothered to mention that, quite frankly. I said it won't even last the end of the month. Well, I'm not sure it's going to last the end of this hour. That's
don't forget, I want to buy one.
He needs 5 in his life. Well, he just wants to have it, just in case, the 2-year-old.
They're actually saying in my ear, and we're not holding one back for you. And I'm like, I had a deal with buying that if I did the show for them, they'd let me buy another one.
I think that's only fair. Q's on the phone.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a standard piece of card. Yeah, I am going to trim it down slightly because one of the big things, I'll tell you what I did with my first A4 die cutting machine when I bought it. Yeah. Yeah. I put one die everywhere and filled a piece of A4 paper, ran it through, hardly any of them cut, and I threw it in a corner. Oh, no. And the reason was because I'd over-asked the machine to do too much.
That's what you were saying earlier about over-asking,
So, get into good habits now. So, it's always better to have your card roughly to the size because the pressure's so good in these that, you know, the card could almost get grabbed. Yes, well, you're putting pressure on cards you're not going to use, and you don't want to mark it.
Well, that's true. You don't want to mark it.
So, what I'm going to do is, now at home, you wouldn't do the same, but because I will show you the difference because my machine's a little bit older. But put your C plate on top of your A, then make your choice down or up. Get into good habits. Put it in a corner. Put it on the side. Yeah, okay, and then your B plate on top. Yeah? Yeah. So, what you're going to do is, we're going to run that through. Yeah. Yeah, really simply. But the reason the B's on top is, if you put the C plate on top, the rollers, because it's 3mm, can warp it. Yes. And all plates warp over time. Yeah. But this is my C plate. Yeah, for 2 years from using on the shows, This is my C plate, okay? The one I've got at home, I used to use on top. And it got quite... And it's banana-y. Yeah. Still works, I haven't replaced it. No. But it went banana-y. So I'm just going to switch the machine on, okay? But watch. All you do, engage. Engage. Yeah? There are no triggers in here, no little buttons to press back. Yeah. So you just put that in like that and you press run. See, I've gone off at an angle. Yes, but it won't destroy our machine and it won't...
affect the project, the die cutting.
And what it will do is, if that sandwich isn't right, it will reject it, the lights will flash.
It won't take it.
And it won't take it. And if I want to, when it's still running, I can press reverse. It's now reversing, so I'm just going to stop it.
And that's key, isn't it? You must engage, and if it's not butting up like you did earlier, John, it's not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not, and it won't engage. But you can see there, all of those.
Look at that, the beautiful croissants,
cut through. Just pop one out just to make it easier. And I've used 300 GSM.
Yes, card with some welly.
Card with some serious weight, some serious tight things. So very quickly then, a Biggs die.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, because we normally have to have our very own, you know, big shot or whatever it is for our Biggs dies, and
we do. We need to have, or your original steel rule dies is what I should call them rather than the brand name. But we all know what they are. Yeah. So what you need to do with this is you need to do, and I would suggest if you're using these, watch the show at 7 AM on Rewind, because we showed you what happens if you use a B and a C. We did. It will push that too hard into your plate, so you need 2 C plates to do this. You practically had to rip it apart. It was that engaged. And so, and I don't want to stand and go, yes, it takes Biggs dies, and then you get it home and realise, oh, well, I need something else. So you would either use a second C plate. First time ever, I bought myself a new C plate, but I'm not going to use it. What I'm going to use is, this is a Cuttlebug plate. This is a Big Shot plate. This is a Spellbinders Platinum plate. So I'm going to put that on. To show you that you don't need to go off by new plates. So you do not need to go off buying plates, because most people, when you buy a machine like this, it's an upgrade. It's not your first machine. If it is, brilliant, well done. It's the sensible choice to do. Because I spent 3 months with my first machine and then bought an A4. Because there's so many dies I couldn't use. But the other thing is, so most people will have got something they can use. What you do is, if you look, okay. Didn't hear the button. You didn't hear the but, doesn't matter. Engaging, But normally, with most machines, electric machines, you have to have that way. So that it hits both of them. Both sides. This one you don't. So all you do is put it there, press run. There we go, I heard that gauge as well then. And it will take it through, even though the sandwich is smaller than the aperture we've got. And smaller than the plate below it, the rollers don't run on triggers. The machine doesn't run on triggers or sensors in there. When you press run, watch, it runs. Fabulous. Now, but there you go, 300 GSM card. Watch on the Rewind. John did material as well this morning at 7 o'clock. But I have some news. We have technically now sold out. So please check out your basket. I'm so sorry, John. I don't know about monthly mega deal. How about the morning mega deal? That's about all we lasted. 3 flexi-buy payments of £46.66, £139.99. Please check out your baskets. How do we create a flexi order? Let's find out.
Flexi order has arrived at Hochanda. What is Flexi Order? When you place an item on FlexiBuy in your basket, you qualify for Flexi Order, which means any other items you add to your basket will also be included in your FlexiBuy payments, so you can spread the cost over multiple monthly payments. After your first payment is made, your entire order will be dispatched. When you add at least £60 worth of any items to your shopping basket, either online or on the phone, you'll qualify for our Flexi Order offer. This means you can spread the cost of your order over equal monthly FlexiBuy payments, offering you the extra flexibility when you shop with us. Flexi Order, making your shopping experience with Hochanda easier.
Well, was not expecting that. Believe you me, we drew everything we can if we could get some more. But all is not lost, because John is still going to talk about the virtues of this fabulous machine which you've just invested in. But we've also got John's fantastic dies on the show, so we can see these in action as well. Now, I'm going to give you the heads up straight away. The last time this lovely square seam box die was on, it's sold out. We have it back, but it is a limited availability, and once it's gone, basically. This is what I've been told by John himself. Now, tell me about this die, John, because it is rather special. Well, it's just rather special, isn't it?
It is. It's my square seam box. We've actually sold out completely of stock twice, and we ordered some more back in. So we had it remade in a limited number, and we launched it again on Boxing Day because, to me, it's the foundation of a lot of what my dies fit on.
Yeah.
So what you've got is nearly all my sort of medallion dies or nesting dies or anything are all designed to work on this. So you can see here this one, you've got it just with the Stamford. So that's just the Stamford and the square seam box, and obviously some letters and some flowers. But if you look at that from the side or from the back, it is as attractive.
Yeah.
You've not got foam tape showing anywhere. It allows us to get good depth. Plus, the depth was designed so that when it's stuck onto a card, it will still only be a large letter.
Yes.
Even with mats and layers. It will not go into a small parcel, and a small parcel is where we really pay on postage. But things like this, those flowers, I've done this for show, but can you imagine? Those flowers could be inside that box.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Totally protected.
I love this as well. This one's lovely, isn't it? This
It did have more jelly babies, but Adam got hold of them in the last show.
Actually, the box with the jelly babies in there.
An open box with the sweets in there with just acetate put in and the oaken panel cut into it.
Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Gorgeous, gorgeous samples there. So please, 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 it did sell out, as John said, twice. My mistake. It sold out twice before. Please don't miss out. £23.99, 754 780. Right, the Stamford, you mentioned the Stamford there, John. This is a beautiful, beautiful die that can be, several dies that can be used in many different ways.
They can. I love the Stamford. The Stamford was designed after the Oakham, and it was designed to sort of intermix with it, but be on its own thing. And I must be honest, I've been using this die so much at home at the minute because you've got so much in there. You've got pieces. So you've got the lattice around the outside, you've got the shape, the sort of squared circle shape. I mean, I wouldn't think they were made from the same die, but the only dies used on both of those cards are the Stamford die.
Gosh.
No other die. And the one with the brown and the ginger, there is an online video showing you step by step how to make that.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
I think I did that for Craft World. So there's a video on there showing you how to make that. But again, this is the same die, but you get a totally different look when you change it in a different direction. I mean, if you actually grab the big white box with the flowers in it...
Yes, of course, yes.
That's actually made with the seam box and the Stamford again.
Wow!
But what Jane's actually done with this one, she's used just a circle for the aperture.
Yes.
So you can mix and match it with your other dies, but that's simply made up of the boxes stuck together.
That's gorgeous, isn't that amazing?
There's no other construction, and the Stamford just gives that... I love a lattice. I mean, if it was up to me, every die I make would have a lattice on it somewhere. You know, I've always been a lattice person, and this was a way to give a slightly different lattice.
Absolutely gorgeous. £19.99 for the Stamford, 508338. Then we have got the... Oh, now this is beautiful. The Oakwood, is it? Oakham, sorry. I've gone Mutt and Jeff today. The Oakham.
Is that they're actually named after... they're actually all named after villages, some of these ones, that are on my route to Hochanda.
Oh, OK, hence
so to get to Oundle, I have to pass Stamford.
Stamford, yeah.
And I have to pass Oakham.
OK,
and I've done previously the Foston, because I passed... You'll know all these names because you passed them.
I can't remember the Oakham, but I'm going to look out for it now. I'll see it everywhere now.
Yeah, you will see the Oakham. Yeah, actually, that's where I had to come off on Thursday night for the A1 when it was closed.
Journey you had, bless you.
Yes, that was fun. But so this is the Oakham. So they're all named after UK villages, to be honest.
Gorgeous. And this one we looked at earlier when you were showing us the beautiful embossing machine. Every little dot drawn by John by hand. Can you believe that? Commitment. So much detail in that beautiful, beautiful die. 1699 093252. Now we've got a beauty, the Oundle. So this can be so many different machinations. It almost becomes unbelievable that it is the same die, and it really is. I mean, it's unrecognisable in some of these different machinations. How beautiful is this?
You wouldn't think that card is the same die as the blue card.
Not in a million years.
But it's just how you actually make them up, how you actually put them together. And again, I think there's a video for that one online. But again, I just wanted it. But it was drawn here. As I said in the earlier show, Fiona knows that I sit in the green room with my computer and draw. She's seen quite a few things very early. That one was started here, and it reminds me of the round sort of tower building in Oundle.
Yes, yes.
So that's why it was named Oundle, because it was drawn in Oundle.
Gorgeous.
Or at least started in Oundle, and it actually matches the style of Oundle as a village.
Beautiful. £15.29, 199 560. Look out for that if you're coming to Oundle. And now my favourite, I just love this. The arabesque. And you've made that 3 separate dies, you told me, John.
Yeah,
I hadn't
so you've
realised
got
that.
those little extras in there,
Yes.
which will give you like that arabesque finish. So this is called the Woodford, which again is a village just around Oundle. But if you see the one that's in the sort of creams and beiges, that sort of border around it, because you've got 3 of those, you've got 2 long ones and 1 short, normally to make that card you would have to put that card through the machine 4 times.
Yeah.
Because you've got 2 of them, it only has to go through twice.
Gosh.
So it halves the time and gives you more options. But again, same sort of shape as the Oundle, but gives you more mats and layers and combinations. And this one by Leslie, I just love.
Isn't it fabulous? Oh, didn't even see this one. Love those circles, are just gorgeous.
I just think the circles work so well, certainly over the Craft 2 gilding sheets there.
That's my favourite, John. £12.59 for the Woodford, 946360. Just astounding. And we've got a dynamic duo now with our poppy heads and our chrysanthemums here. And we've got a lovely saving on this pairing as well. And you've made some beautiful cards out of the waist, you said to me, on this one as well.
Yeah, if that one with the one in the black and red.
Yes, here we go.
That is actually the waist from the poppy heads, not the poppy heads stuck on.
Isn't that fabulous? It's so
they've been
dramatic.
cut in red, and
I
that's
love
the waist
that, John.
from them.
And our lovely chrysanthemums, whether it's, you know, celebratory Mother's Day or congratulations, such great versatility. And there's the poppy heads. And you said that was a great one as well, you know, for the masculine cards as well.
It is. I mean, if you look at that one, it's actually the centre is from the Woodford.
Yeah.
The actual embossing in the back is the embossing folder you got with the Couture Creations machine. Is the dotty embossing folder you got with that.
Yeah, the dotty.
Yeah, but to me, that's a masculine card that's got some floral and some flourish on it, but nobody would worry, because some people worry, to me needlessly, that they don't put flowers on men's cards. Yeah. But that's the perfect sort of almost floral to put on a men's card.
Gorgeous. Double duo there, £19.97, 446462. Lots of people buying that because we've got a great saving on that. You can get them individually, but why would you bother when, you know, you might as well get the saving and they look fabulous together, quite frankly. Stunning. Look at that with one of John's dies there as well. The chrysanthemums. Which one's that, John?
That's the Oundle.
The Oundle. Of course it is. Come on, Fiona, catch up. There's the Oundle shape in the middle of the village there. 446462. Oh, I love these, the little mini vacuums. Now, we've got the pink and the blue, so the different item numbers. And these are fantastic, John. Now, we filled one with the batteries, and they just go on the top. They take 2 A4 batteries, as you can see. This one's got... No, A4.
Double A.
Double A. What
double A
A4?
batteries.
Because we're talking papers
actually,
and
because
stuff.
I did the packaging, I almost should have put that, you know, you win a prize if you spot the spelling mistake on it, because I did it, or the grammatical error. It's actually listed on the packaging what you need, because I would have forgotten. But that's how quiet they are. So you just 2 AA batteries go in, on top sort of just twists on. Yeah. Press the button on and it goes.
You hear that? Very quiet. And tell me about these little stipply brushes down here.
Normally, you get sort of these sort of vacuums, those are like little feet.
Yes.
Or there's nothing there. There's just like little, I've seen little rollers on there. These are actually brushes. So each of these black things out of there are quite fine brushes. And the idea is that we actually had a question in earlier that I will answer about how do you stop your plates marking your card.
Yes.
But one of the biggest things you do wrong, and I'm a terror for doing this, I really am, of leaving bits on my plate. Yeah?
Tiny bits of die cuts, yeah.
So I'm just put some bits on. But if those bits of card stay on my plate, yeah, and a lot of the time they stay in your plate, then when you cut the next layer, if it's a clean and simple one, those will mark it and emboss on it. Because this is a pressure, this is a mangle, yeah? So, because I've got the brushes, it means, can you hear me scrubbing it?
Yeah, it scrapes them
I
up.
can actually get those stuck pieces out of my plate, and that's the first way to stop me actually marking my card badly, because what tends to mark it is that. So, all of our plates, can you see, I mean, you can see how well loved that's been.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have as many little fibrous bits because the brushes on here
sweat them up and sort of
are picking them up, and the hoover, the vacuum. See all the bits there?
They just go.
All those tiny little bits are bits of paper that have come out of this plate.
Fab.
And that's why it was important to us to have brushes on, because, you know, this isn't a glitter vacuum.
No.
I find it hilarious when people sort of say, oh, this is for glitter, you've got a big air hole. At first, if you put glitter down and you try and hoover this,
it'll just come out the...
2/3 of it will go in there, and 1/3 of it will come out of there.
Oh, right, okay.
Once you've had it running for a few weeks, the filters get clogged. Or a little bit clogged, and it will do that.
Right.
But the idea of them was to pick up the dye bits that sit on your desk, and to empty it. Sorry, I love this because we've been waiting since last January for these to come in. You just twist off.
Gorgeous.
So even
simple.
I've got a friend with reduced mobility, but she can do that.
Yeah.
She can actually twist it off. Or can, hopefully. I say that, and then she probably can't.
No, you can, because I did it this morning. It's the first thing I did. I always like to see how easy is it to empty, John?
It's not difficult to do, and the battery housing is the same. You just twist. There's no buttons. So I love it.
One button for on, one button for off.
I wouldn't have put my name on it if I didn't love it.
Exactly, my darling. The blue option is 197021, and the yellow option, pink option, sorry, is coming up now, and we'll get that on the screen for you there. 755659. Okay. John, should we have a look at a little bit more of the machine for those that bought it and your beautiful dies?
Yes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this square seam box die, but I just want to explain about your plate combinations and what we do again. So the best thing to remember with your machine and when you come into your dies is to try things, yeah? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut this out of a piece of plain. This is a white linen Crafts 2 card at 240 GSM. So I'm going to put that down. Okay. So I'm going to put that down like that. I'm going to tape it down. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I know, you know, so all I'm going to do is go onto the C. So I'm going to make a mistake with this one. Yeah? I'm going to put my new C plate on.
Oh, John, you just bought that.
No, B. But watch. See, it doesn't engage.
Doesn't like it. Not
Sandwich is wrong.
Yes.
It doesn't hit that wall.
No.
Not when it's full size. So I actually know now, so I need to go up and put the B on.
Yes.
And when I do...
Happiness.
Yeah. And all I do is, I class it at home, so I just need to press play. And it grabs it and takes it itself without my hands doing it.
Yeah, it's super quiet, isn't it?
It is. And this is a 2-year-old or an 18-month-old one. I mean, I wish I never thought I'd be doing this. Yeah. So I never wrote down the date of when I bought my machine.
Well, you said it was around the time when you moved into your new house.
But the original one I've got at home, I bought just after we'd moved in. And we were in there 2 years in November.
Yeah.
So, and I got the craft room all ready for January, so I'm sure it's got to be 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so take that off. There we go. And what it's done is the die... It is a combination of a good machine and a quality die will make a difference. So the die's cut through, but you see all the embossing lines are there.
Yeah.
Yeah? So these just fold without having to emboss the die.
Yeah.
Without me having to use a...
sort of a bone folder.
A bone folder.
Yeah.
I nearly said a pokey tool then. I don't know what I'd be using a pokey tool for. But can you see that's how well the machine's worked?
Yeah.
Okay. So the biggest thing, so the next question, which I was meant to answer and didn't, okay, was how do we stop? So if you notice, can you see on this white?
Yeah.
This is white linen card. These are the plates that I used. Yeah? Can you see there? No marks.
Yeah.
I've got one little bit there, which I will take off with my glue eraser.
Okay.
So the best way to get your... I think we've got these on the website. If not, we'll try and get them on for the next sort of show if they're out. But that's the best way to get any of those things that look like marks off your die cuts off.
Yeah.
Yeah? But that's using mucky plates. And that is a big open space.
Yeah.
Yeah? But I cleaned my plates with the vacuum. So I'd vacuumed them.
Yes.
The other thing to do is to use a piece of copier paper.
Now this would be because why?
So what you're doing is, what happens is, with high pressure, all those marks, see those two little bits there? They could mark
your lovely card.
That, or all these lines, certainly on mirror card. I'll tell you what, I'll show you.
Yes, because I've got an hour coming up later in a bit with loads of card and mirror card.
So I'll cut the oundle because that's your favourite.
I do like that, yeah.
So I've got the oundle die here, and I'm going to cut out the outside. So this gives me a chance to show 2 or 3 different things. So I want to cut that outside, and I want to cut this one, because the oundle was designed so that you could really mix and match it in lots of different ways, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I cut that, now what I'm asking it to do, I'm asking my machine to cut all these straight lines here, all these lines, all these bits in here, yeah? So, because my machine is older, and over time they open slightly, and I know, and I'm not saying it about this, I'm saying about every machine that's ever been made.
Yes, eventually.
Eventually, physics mean when you force something through, if you think of a mangle,
there's a bit of give eventually.
you look at a mangle, and my nan had one which was probably 50 years old, and there was a big hole in the middle. Literally was a big hole in the middle where it had just kept working.
The force had,
the force.
eroded slightly,
So what I'm going to do is, I don't want this card to mark.
No.
And these plates could mark that mirror card. So a sheet of, and always use copier paper.
Okay.
It's because copier paper is polished. So that's how it takes the ink through your printer.
Yeah.
Because it's actually been polished. It's sort of heat polished.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't have a fibre texture of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to use that to stop it marking that. And I also know that I'm asking a lot of the machine. So I'm going to use the metal shim.
Okay.
Because if you've got it and you need it, then you can use that.
It's about finding the right sandwich.
It's all about playing and finding the right sandwich, because that's one of the things, again, if you've got the machine or if you're interested in it, it's really genuinely worth watching the 7 AM show.
Yes,
because
we did go through all of
Fiona
this,
and I had time to go through all the different combinations, the dies, embossing, embossing stencils.
Yes,
we had a chance to go through everything. So that show is always there for you for the next 60 days.
Exactly, John.
Telling you what to do it. And I found one of my old shows on YouTube last night.
Did you, darling?
So it may end up on YouTube. A lady had asked for how to make this one, so I searched the video. And your actual show came up with it on.
Oh, there we go.
So I said, well, you can watch my 10-minute video, or you can watch the whole show if you want to. So just take this off. Take this off. You see, it's put almost an imprint.
But the paper's
onto the paper.
Yes. But not onto your...
There's nothing.
On your beautiful
I'm going to really, really upset Hannah now, sorry. But you see, there's no marks on that mirror card. Yeah?
And...
yeah, sorry. And I've already upset Holly by getting her name wrong. I get mixed up and confused.
The other thing I wanted to say about the quality of your dies, John, because you know your box, your lovely scenic box, you then, after you'd cut it and it's had the score lines in it, and you're thinking, oh, but now I want to die cut it, will that take away all my lovely score lines? And because that's something you showed, and I thought there's tantamount to the quality of your dies, John.
It is.
I just wanted to
the combination to get things. I know that they say a bad workman blames his tools. We do.
Yes.
But we have a tendency as crafters to blame ourselves. Well, oh, I didn't get that right. What did I do wrong? I get that question more and more. People say to me on something, well, how did I get that wrong? And invariably, it is your tools. You know, don't blame yourself. So a good quality die in combination with a good machine will give you the better results. But you know, they're designed to fit in every machine. I don't want anyone to think, you know, you've got to have...
a special machine for these
dies. You don't, but it's how you use them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing and cut the same die. So this is the piece that we made.
Yeah.
Yeah, OK. And the score lines are there. I've given them a quick fold. I'm then going to just clean out my handle. So you can see what I mean about them fitting into the square seam box.
Yeah, perfect.
And that's why they don't have an outside cutting line, because it wouldn't work.
No. And please don't miss out on that scenic box, because it's sold out twice before and it is limited, and once it's gone, it's gone.
I'm just going to place this one into the space. OK, so I can now cut this at the same time. And again, so I'm going to follow the rules. I don't want to mark my card, but it shouldn't mark because it's not a posh card.
Yeah.
So if you keep your plates clean, and when I mean clean, this clean is what I mean. You know, I haven't washed a plate in my life. I'd love to say just a plastic plate, but No, actually, I did used to have a restaurant, so I'm quite I'm quite experienced at washing up. So, yeah, so I can put that straight down. I'm actually going to move the shim, the metal shim, to there. So you've got combinations with this. Because you've got effectively 1, 2, 3, 4, and with your embossing mat, 5. I don't know where I've placed mine. Effectively, you've got 5 plates.
Yeah.
You've got lots of different combinations. So this time the shim's on the bottom, because I'm just adding pressure into the sandwich. Yeah.
That's all.
All you're trying to do, you think, is you're just trying to get it to engage.
That's the sound you want,
That's the sound. It's hitting the wall.
Yeah.
And it's actually hitting the roller. And again, I'll probably get a big email later from Andrew in Australia saying, don't tell people to bash the plates, and don't say we've got the combination letters wrong.
Engage was the word you used earlier.
It's all about it's all about what I want. So I'm just going to run it through.
So this one, I was just going to show everybody this one, John, because this is your scenic box. So this is why I was looking at this die, because for the life of me, I can't remember. Is that the Oakham?
That's the Stamford.
Stamford off the
Now, you will pass Stamford as well when you go home tomorrow night.
I just can't remember Stamford, can I? I'm going to see. So that is the scenic box that John has shown us now. So it makes that beautiful scenic box. You can have the overlay there, and that is using the Stamford. How gorgeous is that? So I just wanted to mention that again. But back to your oundle.
Yeah. So this is the oundle then into the box. But if you look, I haven't damaged those fold lines.
No.
Yeah, the pressure of the machine hasn't damaged those because the die is holding it above, but it hasn't marked it.
Important, yeah.
The plates, that's the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's the plate that was touching that, it hasn't marked it. So use the copy of paper if you're really concerned. But if you keep, I've found, to be honest, since I've been vacuuming my plates, doesn't that sound wrong? That just sounds
I never thought I'd heard you say that, John.
That sounds like I've got an issue with cleaning, and I really, really haven't. But since I've been doing that, I found my plate, this is marking less and less and less.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's those little bits to collect up, isn't it?
All of that's cut out.
How lovely does that look? The
and that's the benefit. So I did say the other day I would show how to make that up. So
okay, lovely.
Obviously these long bits are too long to go in this.
Too long for your Hoover.
But it works. They won't, it won't vacuum up those really long bits. But what it will do, take the smaller bits off, and it will move them off my plates.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So rather than having to get another brush, or I used to use a rule, a metal rule.
Oh, really? Scrape it off?
Scrape it off.
Ooh.
Yeah, horrible sound.
Make my teeth go.
Really horrible sound.
So, those lovely vacuums in the blue, 197021. Takes 2 AA batteries, and we've got the pink version as well. So, yeah. So
what I want to do now is I want a flap for the front, and I want a piece for the back.
Okay,
yeah.
like this flap, you mean?
Yeah. So what we've done with this die is this is the die that gives you the flap for the front and the piece for the back.
Okay, we use that for the back.
Now, if I did a separate die that was the size of the back, this die would be another £7, £8.
Yes, you'd be doubling up the cost of everything.
But again, something else. This is a basic shape. So I brought everything with me today to test the ability of the machine. Yeah. Great. So this is 300 GSM watercolour card. Yeah. 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 So this is my favourite thing for making the box out of, because it's a cheap textured card. Yeah. Yeah. You get watercolour cards. Sometimes you get watercolour card that, I don't want to say the word cheap, so I'll say cheap. But sometimes you get it and it won't work quite well for your watercolour card. It's cold pressed or hot pressed or different to what you want. Yeah. But trust me, it's a really good way to get really cost effective. Good for the expensive hammered card. Yes. Because you pay a fortune for hammered card. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this time, but I've put 2 layers on. Ooh. Yeah? Yeah, 2 layers. So I've got 2 layers on. It's all about adapting the sandwich. And a basic shape. So again, I'll show you this. Okay, right. If I go through like this, the rollers on your machine pull down this way. Yeah? And they will hit a sleeping policeman. If you think, when you drive at what they're called speed bumps now, aren't they?
Yes,
they were sleeping policemen when I was young.
Yeah.
you don't hit one straight on, do you?
No.
If you can, you go round.
Yeah, you one wheel
but
on
you
the
try
level
and
road.
go at a slight angle, yeah? So you want to do that when you're die cutting. That's the other advantage of an A4 machine. If I move those like that, that means that roller comes down and gives me 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds.
Yeah.
I get 4 seconds cutting that line rather than it jumping it. So it's always worth trying to do that. But we'll see if it does 2 of this. Again, engage, run.
That poor machine. It just gives, and the abuse you give it.
It does, and I'm just really, really hoping that, you know, Emily has saved one to one side for me.
Well, there's that sample one that we've got somewhere, haven't we? Because you brought in your own, so I think it's got your name on it, hasn't it, surely?
I should have.
Molly, box it up, Moles.
I actually said, you know, just make sure there's one I can buy.
Exactly.
And, you know, perhaps give me, like, a little bit off it.
Big fat discount is what we need to do, darling.
Well, I did ask, yeah, I did say, and could I get some discount on it? I'm not going to... I never ask for things like that. I'm terrible. So this is 600 GSM we've gone through.
Yeah.
And a combination of a quality die and a quality machine gives you that. But look, that has a fold line.
Yes.
So, of course, the top one is going to have the fold line.
Yes.
But look, there it is in the second one.
Yes.
So that has gone through, that has pressed through.
Two 300 GSMs.
And cut 2 300, so it's cut 600 GSM, but also given an emboss line all the way through. So I'm going to make the box up. So I'm going to use, now I'm going to use my power tape.
Ooh.
We did have this on the show. This is sold out every time we've brought it.
Oh, gee whiz.
But we did manage to, we brought the last of the stock onto the show I had on Thursday. So it may still be available. But power tape is the best. I've been using this for a long time. There's a little join there, so I'm going to take that out.
I've not heard of power tape.
This is the best tape I have personally ever used.
Wow.
A square centimetre of this will hold up 1.2 kilos. And it says it on the packaging.
Oh, my goodness.
They're actually that confident of it. The company that make it for us
potatoes.
in the Netherlands. Yeah.
That's heavy.
Actually do. So... I would normally put some on the thing as well, but this is why, and again, because I know she is getting into craft, and you have over the last few years, more knowledge. How many, you know when you're using like a red tape?
Yes.
You have to, we go in there, don't we?
Find your little, line.
And you have to, poke and pull.
Straight to the top.
It never pulls off, or it hasn't for me.
Because that can happen,
pulled off.
You pull the whole thing
How
off.
many times on TV have we done that?
Yeah.
And it's just pulled off the tape itself because it's so
we found it
strong.
The power tape.
There
Is there
we
any
go.
left? Oh, let's get it on. Let's get it on.
So for the back, all I need to do, and this is why it's important that the die and the machine in combination have put that extra line down.
Yes.
I have to trim that off.
Yeah.
But to me, I'd rather do that than pay £7 or £8 extra for another die that's just a square. That's literally just a 5-inch square.
Exactly.
So I'm going to put that to this edge. Yep. Okay. So quick to do this. That to the edge, yeah? Hold it up. I'm going to fold that in. Yeah? And match side to side. And put that one on. And that's that fixed.
Gosh.
I'm going to tuck that bit in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, match side to side.
Get that power tape.
Match to the top. Done. Yeah. Press. All done. Fold those two in. Fold that in. And I could put...
Beautiful.
And I could put acetate in here or another colour or something.
Or use it as a box like you do with
all you need to do with your flap, fold it both ways. It's got to be floppy.
Okay.
If it's not, because the first thing I ever did was just fold it like that. Then when you pull it up, you pull the tape off. Oh. You tear it off.
Okay.
So we just put that on like that. Quick, done. Scissors, off.
When are you back with us again, John?
Tuesday with the launch of a brand new full John Next Door collection.
Whee! And something exciting in March.
And something very exciting in March.
That's all I'm saying. I cannot spill the beans as much as I'd like to. I cannot.
I've made a mess of gluing that one down.
That's all right. We get the idea.
I'll put my hands there like, you know. Hey.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty? I've not made a mistake, honestly. Sorry, Mum.
John,
no,
thank you so
I just
much.
made a mess.
Thank you so much for talking all through the machine for us. Really appreciate
thank you. And I would say to anyone who's got the machine, watch the 7 a.m. show on Rewind. There's so many more tips and hints on there for you.
Lovely. We'll see you Tuesday, do you say?
Tuesday,
Lovely.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Look forward to that launch. Brand new collection from our gorgeous John Lockwood. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out your baskets, especially with that lovely scenic box die there, and the Oundle and the Stamford and all the other gorgeous dies on there. Don't forget to get your power tape. That was a new one on me. John, thank you. We'll see you Tuesday.
Thank you. See you Tuesday.
Let's see what's coming up on Hochanda.